Hi guys, just thought I'd do a quick video on as I'm doing the washing on my last prison sentence, which was beginning of 2018. And that was about, I think it was a 12-month sentence. Anyway, regardless of how short it was, I was in Bullingdon prison, and they put you onto a lovely brand new wing, and that's F wing. Now you can watch documentaries on TV with prisoners' interpretations of how they feel, but it's nothing like a personal vlog like this of that person speaking directly to you. And if I'd have been left on F wing, I'd have been okay, and I actually did refuse to move. Did they nick me for it? Yes, they did. They put me on report and put me on basic. Basic regime is where, you probably know what basic regime is, but for those who don't, everybody that goes into prison goes on a standard regime. I'm sure Cody's, there'll be a video about this somewhere in Cody's pile. But your standard regime is just what everybody goes on. But then when you get, if you upset the screws, upset the officers, do something wrong, they can nick you, and they can also place you on basic regime, which is where you are locked in a cell 23 hours a day, given fuck all, no telly. You're allowed to spend about $250 a week. It's horrible being on basic. And even though I was on basic, well, no, we'll go into that in a minute. Anyway, so F wing, and I refused to move because I was in a lovely cell. I had me my smoker bloody thing, you know, the inhaler, you know. You're not allowed to smoke in prison anymore, and I am a smoker. I tried to cut down, but, you know, at that time I was heavy smoking. So they sell you the little smoking, you got refills for it. I can't even think of the name of the bloody thing. Anyway, that is what I had. Then refills probably lasted me a bloody day, because I was sat there puffing hard and watching the TV. Anyway, so they moved me then, told me I got to move to D-Wing. I told them I got some enemies, which I do have a couple of enemies who, I'm not frightened of them, but I'll get at it with them, you know, because they're so disrespectful. I will punch them, and I didn't want to lose any birds, so I just said so-and-so's on there, because he is a right arsehole, and I'm not going to tell you his name, but he lives in Newbury, and he thinks he's something. So rather than let him speak to me like a piece of crap, in there, I'll just let him have it, you know. And when I lose my fucking temper, I'm just spazzy. I go fucking lunatic. You know, I have this temper like my father had. Anyway, you know, I just don't give a fuck then. Anyway, he was on that wing. I said, listen, you're not putting me on there because I'm not getting into all that. Anyway, when you go into that cell, I said, listen, fuck you, you know, and they took me down the block. Did they take me to the block? Yeah, they did. They took me to the block. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah, anyway, then they put me onto C-Wing. No, they didn't take me to the block, they took me straight to C-Wing. Now, C-Wing was a lot better, but there were a lot of rough people on there doing a lot of bird. You know, I'm doing serving 6 months to serve. Then you got guys on there doing 18 years and stuff, you know, so it was a little bit hard to adjust. There were also a lot of bullies on there, and they're smoking a lot of spice with that paper, you know, all they're soaking the paper in that obnoxious shit and selling it to people. But people are buying it, that's the thing. And not just a few people. Anyway, so that's where that ended up. Now, my release date, I don't know what job I had. I think I was a cleaner. Yeah, I was a cleaner for a while. Because my cellmate, I landed on my feet there. He was a on the servery. So I used to bring up food every night. But I had a few quid. I wasn't too bothered about working because I had a few quid. I used to keep us, with them bloody, the smoker things and the refills. So I was all right. And I was looking forward to my EDR, my release date, because obviously the dog was out here. I have a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, who I absolutely worship. I was worried to death about that dog all the time. And my mum, you've got to remember, I'm a carer, so she's on her own. My brother did what he could, but we won't go into that because I'll start raging. Anyway, the dog came. Anyway, all the rigmarole of where are you going when you get out? What are you doing when you get out? How are you going there? Will you do this? Will you do that? All that bureaucratic bullshit that you have to answer. I just give them, I don't know where I'm going. Did you work before you came in? Yes, I was the manager of Chelsea Football Club, I think I said. Shit like that, and they just didn't bother asking me after that. I know it was a little bit piss-taking, but I've been away a few times and they know me. So it's like putting me through this, it's like an introduction to prison. I don't need to go through that. I don't need to do a test for them to know how brainy I am, I'm not super brainy, but I can do my mathematics. I can get by. And I have done. So you look forward to your release date even more. Even more. And for those criminals that are active, really active, like I have been in the past, you're then thinking about your release date, but you're also thinking about, are the police waiting? Now, I have actually got a video clip of a gate arrest, a Scottish guy being gate arrested. I'll have to think of a way of making a video and putting that on. I will be able to do it, with the help of my phone. There's only a certain way I can do it. So you want to look out for that upload. That will be called Gate Arrest, obviously. And it will just be when he comes out the door and, he thinks because you can tell, he says he knew it was coming, but he didn't, because he kept saying about what he was going to do, what he wasn't going to do, and now he was looking forward to seeing his daughter. He wouldn't have said that, would he? If he'd have known he was going to be gate arrested. Anyway, so you look forward to that, and you'll get notifications from the release people, this is how much you're going to be released with, or blah, 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 bullshit. Is your mum okay? Are your kids okay? Is your missus okay? Or this, or that, And I just think it's a waste of time, because they ask you all these questions, but they do absolutely fucking nothing. If they do anything, then I haven't seen it. Anyway, coming up to about 5 days left, and everybody's buzzing, I'm buzzing. And the reason everybody else was buzzing, because I had one of them big cells. Not the bunk bed. It was the 2 cells, the 2 beds. And, there were actually some fights with people fighting about who was going to have the cell. It was quite funny, actually. Not, who do you say can have it? I said, listen, I don't care who has it. I'm not going to sit here and promise it to somebody. But you said, I said, no, I didn't say. I just said, go and see an officer. But my cellmate was out the same day as me, so it really was a good, for them. Anyway, so then we come to release, and release date is slow. But my advice to anybody that goes on a release date is when they put you in that first room is when, obviously you're taken down to reception. When they put you in the room, there's a load of people in there, always stand by the door. So when they're letting somebody else in, they're opening the door, you go with the door. You're like right next to the door, and you just let them past you, and that's what you do. So when they come and say, who's first? You are. That's my little trick. I've done that for years. Anyway, when I was released, 2 friends promised they were going to pick me up, and the lazy bastards didn't. Now, this is the guy I've fallen out with. I've fallen out with them people now. I just hate people that give it all the lip service, all the promises, and then absolutely let you down. Because if I promise you something, I'm going to do it. Anyway, so then of course you are released and you're given your licence. Now, licence to a lot of you young guys is a joke, and you shouldn't look at it like that, because that will fuck you up. If you breach your licence, that will breach you for your FERB. Any tag in the future you won't get because you breached licence, and not unless you've done something spectacular to please a prison officer and he's put a good word in for you. But that's not very often, and in my experience, it just doesn't happen very often at all. Anyway, so you on your prison licence, I have breached it in the past, but not for a long time. By reoffending, you'll breach your licence, and if it's a long sentence, I mean, if we're only talking months, and it's hardly worth worrying about, because they don't even, some of the time they don't even bother adding the days on, and if they do add the days on, they run it concurrent to run with the sentence you're serving. So yes, the prison licence is another thing. It's like when you get bail, when you're on licence and you are arrested, the old coppers can, if they want to, refuse you bail because you're on licence. They even ask the probation service, because probation service is your supervising officer. So it's not, it's not a thing to be abused, licence. They know what they're doing when they do that. And my licence came to an end. I think it was as long as the sentence was. It was from, what was it? My release date was May 18, and that went through till May 19. So, I had to stay out of trouble, and I did stay out of trouble. And you have to report the same day as you get out to a probation officer, and then you'll see him every couple of weeks. And then after that, as long as you're doing well, every month. But if you're not doing something the probation officer wants you to do, he doesn't what he tells you to. The goals you give when you're in prison from your own mouth, they will add them onto that licence. So be careful what you're telling people when you're serving a prison sentence. You say, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. All that is catalogued, it's all filed, and right at the end of it, when the person, the SO or the officer in charge is writing up your licence, he can actually add all that, and so can your probation officer. So be careful what you're saying. I'm not saying that as obviously you want help, but just don't box yourself into a corner if it's too much for you. Just do what you can do, basically. Do what you can do. Anyway, yes, they will return you to prison on licence, so you need to be really careful. You need to be careful what you're doing. It's prison licence is a lot of people look at it and they laugh about it. Well, it's no bloody joke, mate. Don't worry about the washing, it's washing day here. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I haven't done a video for a while. I did one before this where I'm sat in the dark when I was a bit pissed off, but I'll show my face. This Cody sorry, Cody, mate. Cody Lachey. This Cody Lachey platform, I think a lot of people get a lot of help because a lot of people have got fucked up. I mean, my life's got a lot better because I've made it that way. I've stayed out of trouble with the police. I've stopped all my criminal antics. So I made it what it is. So basically, that's what you have to do, guys. You have to sort of put in the work, and then you get the rewards. Now, I always say I've done wrong. I've always made mistakes, but I live life to love another day. That's my own little thing, and that's the way I look at it. I live life to love another day. So, guys, really, you've got to. You can't keep going in and out of jail. Look at these guys with the drugs. They were flying the drones in. What kind of, It's just madness. I've no interest in committing crime anymore as much as I have standing up on a hot air balloon, because I'm frightened of heights. I wouldn't go up in a hot air balloon, and I wouldn't commit any more crime. It's like driving. I lost my licence years ago. I wouldn't bother doing that anymore. Even though I have an old car in the garage, I don't really do anything with it. It's just there so I can say I have a car. But, sod it. It's just shit. If you make it like that, life can get a lot better for you. And prison licence, if you go into probation, and if you're asked the right questions, you can get to the right answers. So I really do feel for some of the younger guys these days who haven't got a clue. Or not so much haven't got a clue, they haven't got the patience, they haven't got the time, they don't care, they'd rather just go to prison, get it out of the way, and then rather than sit in there promising to do things that, you know, what can I say? Anyway, I think this has been long enough. Oh God. I think this one has been long enough. Respect to you guys, even though I'm falling to bits, I'm getting on an old lag now, ain't I? But respect to you guys, and respect to Dan, the American geezer, Cody, all you guys out there, respect. And take it easy.